Hi, this is Kat Chancellor from Stamp Art Connection and StampArtConnection.com, coming to you from northern New Mexico. I just wanted to take an opportunity and wish you a happy new year as we go into 2022. It is December 31st, and I'm recording my product reveals of all the new things from the mini catalog. So grab your favorite beverage, even if it's a glass of champagne or a mimosa or a cup of coffee, and sit down and join me as I go through not only the products that are featured in the new catalog, but also some really neat projects that you can make using not only new items, but also some of your retired items or some items from the annual catalog, just to make sure I kind of mix it up a little bit. So sit back, enjoy, and let's get this stamping started. Okay, so here is the front of the mini catalog, and right there you see these are all my little, I flagged all of this, and since it's before the actual launch, I can't open this catalog, but I can show you all the things that I did. So I'm going to have this catalog off camera so I can kind of go through page by page. So when you watch this again, you can, I've organized all my projects as they appear in the catalog, and I've even included some projects using the celebrations. So let me go ahead and put this off camera, and let's begin with the first suite. The first suite here that I'm going to talk about is from the Sweet Talk suite. And I just have to make sure I open this up on that page. Okay, the Sweet Talk suite is going to be on page 9 of your catalog once you open it up. Now, it features this gingham embossing folder, and I'm going to show you some projects that I used. It includes these beautiful iridescent, I mean, look at these. These are just gorgeous. They're iridescent rhinestones and this paper. Now, I have a lot of Valentine's punches and sets, so I prefer to go directly to the paper to make my projects. So here is this yummy paper that is featured in this suite. I love the colors. I love how they use the Highland Heather and the mint macaroon and the real red and the blushing bride are just colors that you can use. Even I believe this is Granny Apple Green. Just some really neat colors and patterns. I mean, even this nice pattern here that you can make projects with. Now, what I did, to give you an example of how I use this, and you can see I have just push this back in. I have my blushing bride here and a piece of the Highland Heather paper, because I've made another project, but this is the one I just wanted to show you. I just made some 3x3 cards because I'm going to start making projects for my make a card, give a smile project that I do for the Children's Hospital here in Albuquerque, New Mexico. So here are some simple 3x3 cards using the designer series paper, using some old retired pieces. I don't know if you can recognize those pieces right there, but they are retired, and they're just things that I had laying around from the gingham and peppermint acrylic shapes group. They were red and white, so I just thought they went perfectly. There's another set that gives you this embellishment, which I'll show you here in a minute. But I just went ahead and made these, as well as just a couple of tags. Again, kind of using some of these retired embellishments to kind of make some cute little projects for the children at the Children's Hospital. So I'll be making more of those. But there's an example of how you can use these products, and again, I'm going to show you some more examples as well. So I'm going to put this aside. There's the stamp set, Love and Happiness, and then here is the hybrid. It's called a hybrid embossing folder, and then it comes with these dies. Now, what does hybrid mean? It means that you can take this die right here and you can place a piece of cardstock in this embossing folder. You're going to place your die on the side that has the stamping up, and what it's going to do when you put your embossing paper, your paper here in your embossing folder, is it's going to emboss and cut at the same time. And that is kind of cool, because here are a couple of cards I created using that. I embossed and cut, and then I popped the heart up on dimensionals, and then I used these beautiful iridescent gemstones there. I used a Valentine's greeting, and it comes with this nice little framelit here to cut that out. And then I just had some old retired, actually this is the pink ribbon that comes in the catalog that we'll be retiring here here soon. So I just kind of used this. I used some stamping blends, or some blending, some alcohol ink markers to kind of paint those. So isn't that pretty? Love this set because I thought it was a very nice set for, it has lots of neat sentiments in it. You can use it for weddings, anniversaries, as well as Valentine's. And it's also very personal. It has to my wife, to my husband, and also happy Valentine's Day greetings to friends. So I opted for this set rather than the Sweet Talk Suite, because I thought it just gave you a little bit more options for use. Now here's another card I did. I used the designer series paper from that Sweet Talk Suite, which is this beautiful Highland Heather color. This is Granny Apple Green, and then I colored the heart, and then I popped up the backgrounds. You can see how that's kind of recessed in there. And then this is Fresh Freesia, just some ribbon from the annual catalog. And I just thought that was just really a really nice project. So there's two projects that you can use using this bundle. And the bundle is called the Love and Happiness Bundle. But I hope that gives you some ideas, and it really offers some versatility for the rest of the year for how you can create some neat projects. The next set is this stamp set right here. This stamp set's called the Nuts and Bolts Cling Stamp Set. I love it because I am doing a lot of cards for kids for the Children's Hospital. So I love the sayings here. And this is on page 13 of your catalog. So you make my heart go beep. I'm nuts and bolts about you. Greetings, kind human. And I just love these little characters here. I just think they're gorgeous. So I made a card, and this is paper that I am taking from another set that I'm going to show you. That is the abstract. It's another suite, but I want to show you how I kind of use the paper. I use some of this old ribbon, and I stamped the image on some metallic paper, and then I colored the heart with an alcohol pen. Isn't that pretty? Very simple, easy card. It's just a matter of the paper. I embossed the sentiment, and then there's your little character that I fussy cut. Okay. Then another example is I took the and let me just show you. I took the Stamping and Emboss folder. This is called the Painted Texture folder right here. And I used some Versamark, and I just kind of spread it on my background, and I used metallic embossing powder, and I kind of created this neat background here. Isn't that pretty? And then I just, again, This is, here's my little character. He's stamped on gold metallic paper, gold foil, and very simple. And then I have little dots right here, like that's what he's saying. Now, another thing that I did is I used this birch background folder here, and I created this background. And let me just go ahead and put it there for a minute so you can see it. I created this background using Versamark, and I believe I used like gray granite. I stamped with gray granite. Then I went back and used Versamark to kind of add some of this. You can kind of see it has some metallic look to it with silver metallic powder. And again, I just wanted to create kind of a neat background that was very easy. Then I tied it up with some of this metallic ribbon, again, from the annual catalog. And again, I'm nuts and bolts about you with the little heart. So that is that idea. And then I just used some metallic embellishments, pearl embellishments for that. Now this project here, I am going to feature a video on it, but this is using a product from Tim Holtz, and I will show you how I came up with this. But I just thought that was just a really neat, another neat background that I wanted to kind of feature using this nuts and bolts stamp set. Okay, so there you are. I've given you 3 ideas for how you can use this stamp set using some of your new products, old products, as well as just some interesting products from another vendor that that I thought was kind of interesting. Okay, so this is the nuts and bolts on page 12 of your annual catalog. I mean, of your mini catalogs. I just wanted to feature on page 15 is a suite called the Flowering Fields. Now, I picked another suite of flowers. I didn't buy a lot of the flower suites. I really wanted to focus on kind of simple children's cards, but I really like these, and I wanted to show you that these are part of the suite, and they're called the brushed brass butterflies, and they're really cute, and I'm going to show you how I used them on a couple of projects. So these are featured on page 16 if you're following me in on your catalog. Okay, the brushed brass butterfly. Here's the next set. So let me zoom out. So the next set is the Hello Ladybug, and the bundle comes with this wonderful punch right here. Okay, now there are some other Ladybug products that Stampin' Up! Has put out before. It was just a stamp. If you have it, it's retired, but this is what they're featuring in this catalog. I really liked it because you have a Ladybug builder punch right here, and there it is right there. Okay, so with this one, I created this project right here, and let me go ahead and put this right here and zoom in so you can see, so I can explain what I did. I used the Ladybug builder punch, but I also, in the new catalog, and this is featured on page 20. Well, if you go over to page 40, there's a bundle called the Amazing Silhouettes bundle. I just used the Amazing Thanks dies. And here they are right here. Let me show you. These are fantastic. They come with the thanks, kind of the skinny the kind of a background for thanks and for amazing. Okay, and I just love those. And they have you can make the sentiment "you are amazing" or "thank you." And these are the amazing thanks dies. So I got those dies, and that is how I made this pretty thanks. There's the white from the dye, and then the black, and it's very simple. I'll probably I believe this is on my blog this week. I also cut this out using basic black paper, and this is red velveteen from the Christmas catalog. Now when you look at this, and I want to show you, in the annual catalog there are these wonderful dots. They're called matte black dots. These are perfect for this little ladybug. Just perfect. Okay, so that's how I did the ladybug, and that's how I did the thanks. These are featured in the new mini catalog. All right, but I also used the hybrid the Bloom hybrid embossing folder to create my background here in in basic white, and this wonderful gingham ribbon, again, that was in the catalog. This is available, and I just thought it really pulled everything together very nicely. So there's an idea for the very classic, elegant card. Now the other card I did was I just used the stamp set, because the stamp set has these leaves and then it has these daisies. So you can use your medium daisy punch right here will punch out these daisies. So I punched out these daisies, and again, I keep my retired stuff. I had the Perennial Essence floral centers, so I just kind of used those for one of my daisy florals. And you know, I love my little googly eyes, and this says, "You can bug me anytime." Isn't that cute? I just thought that was just a really cute card. Again, simple, and it's also something that where this is something that's kind of elegant, you can give it to your friend. This is something that's fun that you can give to a child, or or like I said, I'm kind of featuring things that I can do that are simple and easy for the Children's Hospital. So there you go. There's two ideas. I have one more I want to show you that I did. This one I used, it was the texture and frames. You remember this. I used this using just some different colors, and the flowers here, flower stamps from the from there in some different colors, and created this background, and then put the "You Are Amazing" from that Amazing Thanks dies, and I put my little guy up there. Now I heard that this punch right here, and I think this was the strawberry builder's punch, will punch out those flowers. I haven't tested it, but again, I'm looking at how you can repurpose and reuse some of the things you may already have in your craft shop. Okay, isn't that pretty? So here are three project ideas that you can do using the Hello Ladybug stamp set and punch. Okay, and that is featured on page 20 of your catalog. So I hope you will give that a try. Now, the next stamp set that I like is this Kite Delights. Okay, very simple, It doesn't come with anything but just that stamp set that's featured on page 31 if you're following me on your catalog. I went ahead and I used some background paper from one of the other, there's another designer series paper, and I will have that. I believe I have that if you go to my Stampin' Up website. I do have my projects, and when this is one of the featured projects there, and it'll give you all the products that are used. But it's simply this neat background here. This is a cloud builder punch. I love punches. This is also neat because I'm going to show you that you can use this punch with your celebrations paper that is free when you make a $50 qualifying order. So bought that and came up with these two cards. Very simple. I just used my blends to color the cards, and then my cloud builder punch to go ahead because the sentiment fits perfectly on that cloud. I used some of the gingham ribbon. This is in the annual catalog. This is that fresh freesia ribbon, and I just used some old baker's twine that I had. Here's a little sun that I kind of cut out, and I just thought that was just really, again, cute, simple. It's not a difficult card, very easy to make. And so here are two projects that you can make featuring the Kite Delight. Let me put these over here. The Kite Delight, and this is just, there you go, and the Cloud Builder Punch. So two projects featuring those products in the mini catalog. And that set is featured on page 31. This is a bundle, and this comes with these dies, and it's called the Daffodil Daydream. And you will find the Daffodil Daydream bundle will be featured on page 37 of your catalog if you're following me with your annual catalog. If you need, with your mini catalog. If you need a catalog, please let me know, and I can post you one. If you identify me as your demonstrator. Okay, Daffodil Daydream, very nice line art. It is something that the reason why I chose this for my pick for a flower bundle is because it covers Mother's Day and Easter, and I love daffodils. Then it has these daffodil dies that you can build a daffodil. So let me show you what I did. I use the two colors I use, I think, are Crushed Curry and I want to say So Saffron or Daffodil Delight. So there's the card. Let me just pull in so you can see. So there's the card. Now this is DSP from the Christmas catalog. This is retired, but I'm using some of my old products. Just want to show you how you can use your old retired products with your new products from the mini catalog. This is a die that comes from the Hello Beautiful set. So this is another suite, and here is our little brass butterfly. Isn't that cute? So you can cut out the different pieces for the dies with using the dies to create the daffodils. Okay. Then there is some designer series paper that is part of celebrations that you can earn with a qualifying order. And I believe this is a $50 order, and it's got daffodils. It coordinates with this set. So I went ahead and I took that paper and I just cut it in different diagonally, and I created these two cards again with the daffodil dies. Now what I like about these dies, and I'm just going to leave those there so you can take a look at them, but what I like about the dies is that Stampin' Up has given you two of everything so that you can go ahead and do kind of do some production cutting and make several of these at the same time. They also have options on how you can layer these dies or layer the pieces to create a daffodil background, or they give you another option to layer pieces to give you kind of a different look. So then looking at this card over here, you can see where I used both of them together, so you can kind of combine them and they're not all the same. Okay, so that is just really, really, really pretty. So there you go. There are 3 projects that you can use. The Daffodil Daydream, and I have to remember to keep putting these over here because of the I don't like the glare. There we go. I don't like the glare on my bundle there. Okay, so Daffodil Daydream, 3 projects, and it's going to feature the paper, which I'm going to show you here shortly when I get over to the celebrations items. And this is all featured on page 37 of your mini catalog. So I thought that was fun. Okay, moving on. Let's go to page 40 of your mini catalog. And on page 40 of your mini catalog, there is the Eden's Garden. Here's the Eden's Garden set. Now this comes with a number of dies, primarily these nice dies right here. There was a special offering for if you were a demonstrator with some products. I just wanted to show you that I took that stamp set right here, and I believe this was featured on Stampin' Up's website. I think Sarah did a demonstration on how to create this. But I used the stamp set. I used some blending. I used a tear paper, kind of a masking technique. And then I just added using the gold vellum from the I'm not sure if this is from the Christmas catalog or if this is from the annual catalog. And then this paper is definitely from the Christmas catalog. All of this is going to be retired and it will no longer be available. So that is using the Eden's Garden, and it's using this stamp set right here. And actually it's using all of these stamps to kind of stamp that. So there's an example of a product, the Eden's Garden, and let me just show you, and it comes with these beautiful dies. Now I'll show you some other projects that I did using the dies that came out of this, using another stamp set in the catalog. Eden's Garden, and that's featured on page 41 of your catalog. Okay, let's move on to page 49. Page 49, called the Abstract Beauty. It comes with a stamp set, comes with dies, and then it comes with some, these are called adhesive backed hexagons. And then I bought when you buy the entire suite, you get the ephemeral pack right here. And it has some cards and envelopes. And I've already used these cards and envelopes. I really recommend these cards and envelopes because I just love the colors and the designs that you can apply. And I'll show you some other projects that I created using these. So this isn't the entire pack because I've already made some projects with these, and some really pretty designs on the envelope. So this, I think, is a really good deal. It's very eclectic, very abstract. It can go with anything. Here are the dies that I used for my, right here, for my Happy Mother's Day. And this die actually does a really nice kind of embossed frame around, if you can see that, it's a nice embossed frame around the die cut. So there's that size, there's that size. I've used the circles and I've also used the hexagons. And then let me show you the project that I created. Oh, and it comes with this designer series paper right here. Especially designer series paper. And you can see all my little pieces I've already used. But what's really nice about this is that you're getting 48 pieces, but it's got some, look at that, it's got foil, fancy foil, pretty colors, nice patterns, including flower patterns that you can use for any card. Really nice. This is a new size for Stampin' Up. It's 4 by 6. I'm not so sure I'm crazy about 4 by 6. I kind of like 6 by 6. But what it does do is that when you're doing a make on a card, you know, it already kind of fits on a 4-inch, so that you can put it on your larger 4 1/4 by 5 1/2. See, it already fits on that, and you just have to kind of cut off a little bit of the down to 5 1/4, because this is 4 by 6. So you only kind of lose just a little bit, but that makes it easier, and it certainly cuts down on waste. So that is something to think about in terms of this new product. Go ahead and put that there. So let me show you what I made. I made this card right here. So let me zoom in. And I used the dies. There are the hexagon dies, cut out the white, then use the designer series paper to cut out the other pieces, and there's a die that will cut the paper out in a hexagon shape, but then it'll cut it out in half. And that's this one right here. So I cut out the die, and then I cut out the piece separately. See, it cuts out the little hexagons, and then you can cut out. I was kind of wondering where that went. All right, so there's the die that cuts out the hexagons, and then you have the other die that cuts them out in half. I stamped these using the stamp set right here, using I believe it was Flirty Flamingo or Blushing Bride with a polished pink in the middle. And then this little thank you and sentiment right here that's that smaller die that cut that out, and I embossed that in white. But isn't that pretty? Again, I'm using that card format that came with the card set. So there's an example of what you can do with the with this abstract beauty. Now that's one project. I have used all these products on different cards that I will show you here in a minute. So that is on page 41 or page 49 in the mini catalog. This is the next stamp set. Again, here is a stamp set that is very simple. Okay, very simple. It's just a, you know, best delivery. It's got this truck. It's got birthdays, sending lots of love with hearts. So you can use it for Valentine's Day. Again, I was thinking just kind of simple cards to make. So using this, I made this card, and let me show you. And I put this up on a wobble. And I made this card, and I'm using some of the neat new designer series paper. These are just all the different types of cards that I made using this set. Now, the way that I made this, and let me just pull in so you can see this card. They're all very similar, but you see the clouds and then you see this road. I use the After the Storm stamp set. It's in the annual catalog. I used this stamp right here for the road, and then I used the two clouds. So there is the stamp set I used for the road. It has the shadow stamp comes with it, and then I went ahead and did the clouds, and I just put that up on a wobble. Now, not all of them are up on a wobble. For example, this one is not up on a wobble. Now, you stamp, I don't know what the technique is called, but I stamp the image on a piece of designer series paper. I cut out what I want. Then I go ahead and I stamp the image on Whisper White, and then I color. And here, I think I use some watercolor paper. And then I use some Versamark and some clear to kind of make the window and the black tires kind of look a little, give it a little bit of dimension there, especially when you put it on the wobble. You can see kind of how that comes out. And I just love that sentiment, just driving by to say hi. Okay, so again, just using designer series paper. Let me go ahead and back out. And the After the Storm and the Best Delivery. I just sat down and I made all of these cards using that stamp set and using a stamp set from the annual catalog, After the Storm, for those really cool clouds. So there you go. That's on page 53 of your mini catalog, After the Storm. Lots of neat ideas. Stamp set called Sentimental Swirls. And if you're following along on the catalog, this is on page 56. So Sentimental Swirls, that's all it is, just a stamp set. So if you look at some of the samples in the catalog, when you look at it, you'll recognize this one. I'm using the designer series paper from the Abstract Beauty. And let me just pull in so you can see what I did here. I'm pulling just enough so you can see it. There you go. Okay. So I used the designer series paper from the Abstract Beauty. I stamped this and then I colored it, and you can color it with the stamps because it's photopolymer. Okay, so it's a 2-step stamp. And then I used some of the gingham ribbon. And these are the hexagons that came with the Abstract Beauty. I believe in there in Blushing Bride. But isn't that pretty? And this paper from the Abstract Beauty, and you can see, do you see the foil? It's got foil on it. So it's just really, really, really pretty, and it was easy to make. Just simply use a tag topper there and kind of laced in my ribbon. Very easy, and it's really pretty. The other card I made, and here is this right here, and this is a sample that's in your mini catalog that you'll be able to recognize. Okay, but what I did with this card, I used another die from the Grapevine dies. That is what creates this neat grapevine, and all it is the die. It's not even the stamp set. And then I stamped the flowers that come, because it has these flowers right here. I stamped the flowers on vellum in gold, okay, gold embossing powder. I stamped the background using Versamark, kind of like the sticky stuff because I used the flakes. I used the gold flakes. I wanted to use the gold flakes because I thought it kind of gave a really neat effect. It's not all perfect, and it's kind of gives it a nice look. So I stamped that first, and then I cut it, and then I kind of placed it with back on the card after I cut it, and then I put on the real pretty embellishments, and then these are just some old embellishments. They were faceted gems that I had that I thought really stood out. So that is 2 cards using, and let me just pull out so you can see, oops, using the Sentimental Swirls, and I'm also using the dies from the Grapevine dies to create these cards. So there's some ideas on how you can use the Sentimental Swirls stamp set, and that's featured on page 56 of the catalog. Now, the next project I want to show you, featured on page 59. I didn't buy the whole suite. I'm going to show you the Blessings of Home stamp set, or rather the bundle, which kind of comes with stamp set and a lot of dies. And I used the paper, the Heart and Home paper. And here's the designer series paper. Lots of neat patterns. It's just basically kind of look at that, a pattern pack, nice patterns, soft backgrounds. I really like this wood background. It coordinates with another set that I didn't make a card with, but it coordinates with the Honeybee Home bundle. I haven't made a project with that, but I love these 2 patterns. I especially love this color here. I have some gold vellum, and let me show you what I did with that. To begin with, I stamped there it is. Let me zoom in. I stamped the card on Whisper White with this image right here, and then embossed it with gold, and then used a blending brush. Here are my blending brushes, and I believe the 2 colors I used must have been Flirty Flamingo and I think fresh freesia, and then I used a Spudge Jobber for the green. So that's what kind of colored it, and then I used that gold vellum and some of the dies, because they have little pieces and parts here that you can create with the dies. Now you remember I showed you that other set, and here is the die that I used from that other set that I talked about, and I'll have a little thing on my video. But for the sentiment, I used the designer series paper, and these are these doilies. Now this suite comes with doilies. I didn't get the whole suite. I was very kind of picky about what I chose. So I used, you can see the little doilies back there, just to offer some layering for this project. And those are available in the annual catalog. So the other card I made, and this, I showed this to my sister and she just loved it. I made this card, same exact technique. Versamark, gold embossing powder, using my blending brushes, and then using the dies from that other set on that paper. And I just thought it just really popped out. And then here's a little bit little bit of ribbon, the fresh freesia ribbon. I think I've showed you already a number of projects that I've done with that. Isn't that pretty? So there they are, side by side, two projects. These are products that are featured on page 59 of your annual catalog. I mean, of your mini catalog. There's also a neat honeycomb embossing folder, and there's also, and I don't know if I don't think I have them. There's some dots that come with it. I did get the dots, but I think I must have misplaced them because I don't have them directly at hand right now. So there you go. Two really nice cards using the dies and the stamp set from the Blessings of Home bundle. And I think the one I was trying to think of was the Eden dies. I used the Eden dies here to create some of those other layering effects. All right. So let's move on. Yeah. Page 63 is Catch You Later. Oh, here are the dots that went with that other set. Catch You Later. It's just a stamp set, but I loved the images. Okay, the artwork, and I loved the sentiments. So, keeping on my simple theme, I use the cardstock or the card, and you remember I talked about those cards. Here's the card from the Abstract Beauty, and I just went ahead and I stamped the image, cut it out, put it on a dimensional, and these little white dots are the dots that came with that other set that I kind of used like he's kind of thinking about it. And you know, now that I think about it, I could use the Cloud Builder Punch, and that would be equally effective. Okay. And then I did the same thing, only I used, this is designer series paper from the Celebrations pack, and I'm going to show you that in a minute. But I put him up on a little wobble here, so he's on a wobble there just to kind of be fun. And then the other image I liked is this one here. You're just hanging around. So I created this card, and here I used the grapevine die, right? The grapevine die that I've just showed you. Here, grapevine dies. I use the grapevine die to kind of create a little bit of interest here around my little monkeys. And again, I colored everything with an alcohol ink marker. So there is page 63, ideas for how to create these some fun cards using the Catch You Later stamp set. So now let's move on to page 66. Page 66 is the Cactus Cuties, and this comes with a punch. There you go. Now, I used some of the products from the annual catalog. Specifically, I used the Potted Succulents die. Okay, and I created this card right here. And I'll pull in so you can get a close look at that. Now, what I did is I cut using the Potted Succulents die, I cut this with vellum and adhered that on my Whisper White cardstock. And then I used the stamps from my Cactus Cuties, and I stamped this cactus. And I believe the color that I used was an Evening Evergreen. And then I used polished pink for the little flowers. And then I just use some little faceted dimensionals there. Okay. Then I took the welcoming window and the Simply Succulents dies. All right, the Simply Succulent stamp set, the welcoming window dies that come with it. All right. And let me just zoom out for a minute. I used those and I came up with this card, which is an easel card. So you can open this card this way, and then it's an easel card that you can set like this, and you can have a message right there. So it folds out. I did it on crumb cake using Sahara sand. What I wanted to do was kind of create like a Southwest adobe look. Again, I used my stamps here from my Cactus Cuties, and then I used various I used a pot from my welcoming window to kind of create a little vignette there. And I did another Cactus Cutie. I used the dies from my Simply Succulents. They had dies that kind of cut this aloe vera. And that is how I created, and let me just pull in so you can see, that is how I created this project. I used the windows frame dies to kind of come up with something a little bit Southwestern that featured some other products from the annual catalog that you could make. Isn't that just cute? And it just kind of folds over like that. So here are 2 projects that I made, and this is all the products that are featured on page 66, plus some of the products from the annual catalog that I wanted to show you on these projects. Okay, so this kind of wraps up the things that I did using the products from the mini catalog. So now let's talk about, let me put these aside, and let's talk about the celebrations. And this is the celebrations, and there's stuff in here that you can get. So let's see, what kind of stuff in there that you can get, Katrina? Well, let me show you what kind of stuff you can get. This stamp set, $50 qualifying order. You can get a stack of paper. I have a new stack of paper right here, and you can get this stamp set, this paper, and a stamp set, and then as part of qualifying orders. Here is. This is what is a set that is featured. I believe it's $100. I'm just showing you the different colors of paper that you can use. I haven't come up with a project yet, but I really like the papers. Nice paper. And it's kind of neat that they offered, oh, look at that. I love that. They offered the paper and the stamp set together, and you can see from here this little bird right here coordinates with the little bird right there. So it's really a cute set. So look for some cards that I make with that. I'll have that on my blog. So that is a celebrations item. This paper here is called the Daffodil Afternoon. So here's the paper. Here's my pack that's open. I've even cut some things here that that I'm working on. See, look how nice those fit. Those can fit directly on. Look at that. They can fit directly on a card. And look, it's easy. Just put some gingham ribbon on that, some yellow gingham ribbon, or even some black and white gingham ribbon, and you have a card. Very, very easy. So one of my customers said, well, Kat, what do I do with this? I don't know how to use this. And let me just kind of show you, since this is open, let me just show you all the different patterns that you have with this, because this all goes with the daffodil set. Okay, it coordinates with the daffodil set. Isn't that pretty? All right, so let me show you what I did with this so that you had some ideas. And I'm not done. These are just kind of like my preliminary project reveals for this. What I did is I took the first thing I did here is I took the stamp set from the daffodil. Let me zoom in. And I kind of did some decoupaging using newspaper, and you can see I even used some embossing paste using a one of the embossing patterns, templates, stencils from the annual catalog. And then I have a little thank you, and that is a little ladybug, and this one is on clearance. If you want this little ladybug, I thought it was really, really cute, and it kind of goes with that. So I got this glossy look because I'm in my mother's studio, and she had some Mod Podge, so I kind of used that. And these are newspaper strips and with black ink, and then I kind of painted them. Okay, so there's a sample product that you can do using these using this product. Now, here are two other cards that I made, and I made them using different techniques. I took the designer series paper, and you see I basically started out with a sheet like this. For this one, I cut it. I think these are our 1-inch strips, because this is 4 inches across, 1, 2, 3, 4. And I have different patterns, and I just went ahead and I flipped them over. Then I used my embossing, my Versamark, and my wonderful little gold flakes here. Use my gold flakes, and I just kind of did that down the center. Then you can see I use the embossing paste, and kind of it pastes some texture there, okay? And use my die from the Abstract Beauty, and there's my little, oh look, there's my little ladybug. There's my little ladybug, and there you go. There's that card. Then for this card, what I did was I kind of did something different. I took those 4 strips and I tore the edges right here, and then I added tear tape, just some plain tear tape, and again I used my embossing flakes so I could kind of get that neat effect. And again added my embossing paste onto my card. You can see my embossing paste. And then I cut some of the, you see how 3D? I cut some of the flowers out and just kind of popped them up. You can kind of see how I kind of popped them up. So it was a little 3D right there. There, I used the black and white gingham ribbon, and then my little ladybug. So let's take these aside. And then I'm going to have this paper here, this piece. Okay, here's a set called Driving By. Now this is the paper. Let me show you the paper. Let me zoom out for a minute. Here's another paper that you can get with a qualifying order. It's called the Sunshine Rainbows. It's meant to coordinate with another set that's in your catalog, but I didn't get that set. So I just got the paper, and I just want to show you how pretty this paper is. I mean, you have lots of really neat patterns. Look at that. You might recognize that from that little truck. I did a little truck. So I've kind of used these. You might recognize this paper. I've used these for some of my other projects. And these clouds, hello, here you go. These clouds right here coordinate with your cloud punch. Okay, so I took advantage of that by getting the cloud punch, and then I created these cards here. Let me show you again close up. I just took the paper, cut it in half on the diagonal. I used that amazing thanks die, and just did some of the clouds from the paper. Very simple card, just using the DSP from the celebrations, from your free, that's free with your celebrations purchase of $50 or more. Isn't that cute? And then I just embellished it with some really pretty little embellishments. So then I took the same paper, and there is this set right here called Driving By. And this set is also a product that you can get free with a qualifying order. So then I created this card using the same thing. There it is. I used the, let me just get that light out of the way. I used the paper, cut it in strips. I colored the little VW bus with some alcohol inks. There is my sentiment with using my cloud punch. And then look how I used the paper with the suns. Isn't that pretty? There you go. So here are some examples. Let me pull out products from the celebrations that I just wanted to kind of feature. And I will have more products on my blog in the coming weeks. But I wanted to go ahead and do that. So all of these are things that are available in celebrations that you can go ahead and make some amazing products. I hope this gives you some ideas and encourages you to make a purchase. So there you go. Everything that you would want to know about the mini catalog and all these amazing projects. I mean, here they are. Look at all these amazing projects that you can make using all the new products from, I mean, come on, that is just super duper. There you go. Cat Chancellor, Stamp Art Connection. Here's my product review from the new mini catalog that goes live January 4th. I hope I inspired you. If so, please like, please share, leave a comment on any of these projects that you would like to see me feature on my YouTube channel. Which technique, which card would you like me to give you a YouTube tutorial that you would like to follow? Leave a link, leave a comment so that I know and I can work towards that. Thank you so much for joining me. This is Cat Chancellor, Stamp Art Connection, stampartconnection.com. Happy New Year, happy 2022, and God bless.